In the picturesque town of Willow Creek, a small community nestled between the rolling hills and sprawling forests, a dark tale of jealousy and murder unfolded. This is the true story of a sister, a wife, and a tragic series of events that would forever alter their lives. Sarah and Tom were the embodiment of a modern couple. They had been married for 5 years and, by all outward appearances, were incredibly happy. They lived in a charming house with a white picket fence, and together they raised their young daughter, Lily. Sarah's sister, Emily, was a frequent visitor to their home. A free spirit who had just ended a long-term relationship, Emily was the life of every gathering, always laughing and bringing a sense of fun. But behind the laughter, tension simmered. Emily had fallen into a deep depression after her breakup and struggled with feelings of inadequacy. She often found herself comparing her life to Sarah's and felt a growing resentment towards her sister's stability and happiness. As weeks turned into months, Emily's jealousy began to boil over. She started visiting less frequently and grew distant. Sarah, concerned for her sister, reached out. She planned a weekend getaway for the three of them to help mend their relationship. Emily reluctantly agreed, but the feelings of resentment only simmered beneath the surface. During their trip, the situation reached a boiling point. One evening, after a few glasses of wine, the conversation turned to relationships. Sarah spoke about her love for Tom, how they built a life together, and how much she valued their commitment. Emily listened but felt her heart racing with anger. She'd believed she would have a similar life, but instead, she felt trapped in a never-ending cycle of heartbreak and loneliness. The following week, things took a dramatic turn. Sarah received a phone call from Tom at work, his voice shaky and anxious. He explained that Emily had called him multiple times, expressing feelings for him, saying that she felt lonely and wanted to be close to family. Tom brushed it off as a drunken mistake, trying to reassure Sarah that he'd never feel that way about her sister. But the seed of doubt was planted in Sarah's mind. That night at dinner, Sarah confronted Emily about her recent behavior. Emily responded defensively, denying any real feelings and accusing Sarah of not understanding her pain. The argument escalated, words turned to shouting, and Sarah finally demanded that Emily leave the house. That night, Sarah and Tom had a long discussion about the evening's events. Tom suggested that maybe it was best for Emily to take a step back from their lives for a while and focus on herself. They both cared for Emily and wanted to help her, but felt it was now a one-sided relationship fraught with drama. Unbeknownst to them, Emily was at home spiraling deeper into her jealousy, replaying Tom's words in her mind. In her twisted perception, Sarah was the barrier preventing her from having a fulfilling life. The notion that Tom might prefer her sister, that he might even love her, started to consume Emily completely. 1 week after the confrontation, Sarah received a phone call from Emily, sounding distraught. She insisted on coming over to talk, exhibiting a sense of urgency. Sarah, albeit cautious, agreed. Tom was supposed to get home late that night, so Sarah figured it would be an opportunity for some healing. Emily arrived, her eyes puffy and red from crying. The conversation started off well, but soon it took an unsettling turn. As Emily shared her feelings of inadequacy, her expression shifted from sorrow to anger. Then Emily revealed her feelings for Tom, describing how she believed they had a special connection. Sarah, taken aback, firmly told Emily to leave, and that no good would come from this conversation. In a fit of rage and jealousy, Emily lunged at Sarah. In the ensuing struggle, Emily's anger manifested violently. She grabbed a kitchen knife. Sarah's screams echoed through the house as the family dog barked frantically, but it was too late. In a moment of panic and chaos, Emily stabbed her sister, forcing her to collapse on the floor, blood pooling around her. After the stabbing, Emily fled the scene, leaving the family shattered. Tom came home to the horrific sight of his wife lying on the kitchen floor. Emergency services were called, but it was too late. Sarah succumbed to her injuries, leaving behind a devastated husband and a young daughter who would never know her mother. Emily was later arrested after turning herself in. During the trial, it became evident that her actions stemmed from a deep-seated jealousy, compounded by her own insecurities. The courtroom was filled with grief. Their once close-knit family was fragmented beyond repair, all because of the destructive nature of jealousy. This tragic story serves as a haunting reminder of how envy and unresolved emotions can lead to devastating outcomes. Emily, once filled with the joy of family gatherings, was now facing a life behind bars. Tom was left to raise his daughter alone, grappling with the senseless loss of his wife, while the community mourned the family that had once seemed so perfect. In the end, it was jealousy that cut the ties of love, leaving only pain in its wake.